Awesome. Thank you. Perfect. Okay, we'll go ahead and jump right in. So first, I want to say welcome everyone to Berkeley's MEng class of 2026. We are so excited to have you. It's a huge accomplishment. And so getting into any graduate program is a huge accomplishment, but definitely Berkeley ranks as top three in the nation. And so we're so excited to have you here today. So again, congratulations on your hard-earned spot. And so today we're going to go ahead and talk about some of the events that we have going on for you this week, some of the sessions that we have going on for you. And then today's session, or this morning right here, is going to be a little bit of an overview and a breakdown of the MEng program, what you can expect at your time here at UC Berkeley, and some of the resources that you'll have access to as a student here. And so again, we're so excited to have you. And let me just go ahead and let's jump right in. Awesome. So I'm going to start by introducing myself. I know that I'm talking, and those of you may not know who I am. So just give me 1 second. I'm going to rename my name so that you know who I am. So my name is Mars Rivas, and I am the senior admissions officer here at Berkeley, at the MEng program in particular. And so that entails basically doing admissions for all seven of the departments that we have. And I'm going to take a second to also introduce you to my colleague. I'll let Maritzi introduce herself.
Hi, everyone. Happy Tuesday. My name is Maritzi. I'm the Students Affairs and Academic Advisor, and I will be assisting you in your journey here in the Fung Institute. So, any capstone related questions, any of sort, I will be assisting you with that.
Awesome. Thank you, Maritzi. And then let's jump right in. Perfect. So these are some of the things that we're going to cover today. And so again, this is really just an opportunity for us to help you get to know UC Berkeley a little bit better, get to outline sort of what to expect with our program. And so again, if you haven't had an opportunity yet, go ahead and feel free to introduce yourself in the chat box. Let us know your name, your undergrad, and then where you're joining us from today. And so not only are we going to touch on the overview of our program, but we're also going to talk about what your engineering leadership journey entails. We're going to give you an opportunity to meet some of your peers and engage with them. And then at the end of the session, we're going to hold a Q&A. And the hope is that we can try to answer a bunch of your questions along the way as we progress through the presentation. But questions will come up, and so you're welcome to drop those questions in the chat. And then we'll also make room, as I said, at the end for Q&A, both with our staff members as well as the students that we have joining us from our ambassador program. And then they were also on the in-person student panel yesterday, so you may see some familiar faces for those of you who were able to join us yesterday. Awesome. And so right off the bat, we love to jump into this. So UC Berkeley, we are so proud of our numbers. We have 35 Nobel Prizes that have been held by our alumni. We've got 33 faculty MacArthur Fellows, 15 National Medals of Science, 77 faculty Fulbright Scholars, which is really, really incredible numbers. And then we are also ranked number one all-time top producer of the Peace Corps volunteers. And then we have 223 Olympic gold medals here at Cal Berkeley, and then 10 Nobel Prizes that are held by current faculty members. So again, congratulations and welcome to such an amazing program, to an amazing institution. It really is a huge accomplishment, and we are so, so excited to welcome you as part of those numbers. Um, these are also some of our rankings here at UC Berkeley. So we were actually ranked number one in public universities here in the US. We were ranked number two in terms of our serial founders, and that's based off of the PitchBook University's report. Based off of the US News World Report, we were number four in global academic ranking. And then we've also been ranked number two as a startup university or university for startups. And this is also a survey that was based off of PitchBook. And then we also have number two in terms of startup universities, and then as well as number four in terms of global universities. So again, huge accomplishment that you're here, and we are so excited to welcome you. All right. And so now we're going to jump right into the overview of what we got going on here. And so I'm actually going to pass the slides over to Maritzi for a few.
Hi guys, so Oski the Golden Bear is the official mascot of UC Berkeley. You will see him you will see him walking around campus and during sporting events. And Go Bears is a saying that you will hear often on campus, which represents enthusiasm and support for the university and its community. Um, oh. So, housing. What does housing look like for graduate students? There's quite a few different options available to graduate students. Most housing options are within walking distance of campus, so offering convenience for daily commuting. The majority of the housing units come fully furnished, which is ideal for students who prefer not to invest in new furniture during their time in their program. These units typically include utilities and are well equipped. There is student housing as well. If you do not have dependents, for students with a spouse, partner, or children, family housing options are also provided. One example is the University Village. It's a community located in the city of Albany, north of UC Berkeley. So it's not too far from campus either. And most of our students stay in the International House, which is a historic dorm style building that really provides a unique living experience. In addition to on-campus options, students often choose to stay in nearby local apartments as well. So if you want more information about housing or resources, please make sure to check out the new admin website. Mm. DLab, also known as Data Lab, is a key resource used by many students. They offer training, consulting, and working groups for those at all levels. They also organize workshops for students, so definitely take advantage of this resource. All right, next slide. Recreation and well-being. RSF, which is a recreational sports facility, is the campus gym with several locations around campus. They offer various fitness classes, catering to different interests and skill levels. Facilities include multiple pools, tennis courts, 7 basketball courts, weight rooms, intramural sports, and much more. The campus gym membership is already included for current UC Berkeley students. All right, next slide. Yes. Getting around. So how do students get around Berkeley? There are different modes of transportation that students can utilize. The first is the Bay Area Rapid Transit, also known as BART. It's our local subway and metro system for getting around the Bay Area. It can get around most areas in the Bay, so it's super convenient. The closest station is in downtown Berkeley, which is about a 5 to 10 minute walk from campus. The next is the AC Transit, which is a local bus system. Bus services included in the student tuition and fees. So students can ride buses to various locations throughout the Bay and including to San Francisco. There's also ride sharing, such as Lyfts and Ubers, and biking. We have a large biking community on campus. Bicycles are a popular mode of transport for students as well. And if you have any questions, and if you want to know more information about how to navigate throughout the Bay Area or transportation options, check out www.511.org. Okay, next slide. Thanks, Mars. Nearby destination transportation. So Berkeley is centrally located, which makes it really easy to explore different geographical areas like beaches and mountains. So we have a couple images here. Down below is Lake Tahoe. It's popular for outdoor activities like skiing, hiking, and like lake recreations. There's also Napa Valley for wine tasting, and there's the Golden Gate Bridge, which is an iconic landmark. So these are just a few of the amazing places you can visit during your time as a UC Berkeley student. And I'm going to hand it over to Mars.
Thank you, Mercy. Sorry, I was on mute. I appreciate that. Perfect. So now we will jump into the academics and program design and outline what you can expect here. So earlier I mentioned that we were the ranked the number three best overall engineering school. And so we were ranked number one for civil engineering and environmental engineering, as well as computer science. We were ranked number two for material engineering, as well as electrical engineering. And then we were ranked number three for mechanical, industrial, and nuclear engineering. And then our number four program that was ranked is bioengineering. And so just a few cool numbers that we like to brag on. Cool. And so now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to jump into outlining the distinction between the Master of Engineering and the Master of Science. And so they are two different programs. And so a lot of times we want to ensure that students have a good idea of what they're signing up for before they actually commit to the institution. And so for the Men's degree, while it is a professional degree, it doesn't necessarily mean that it is less academically rigorous than other programs. So I think sometimes that is a misconception when folks are outlining like what the difference may be. And so as you can see in the breakdown, the Masters of Engineering program is a one-year program. And so our particular program is outlined with 25 units. And so the difference between that is really that the Masters of Engineering is more technical based. So this is really a program that's about applying your skill sets, whereas the Master of Science is more about research and sort of diving into that portion of the academics, as well as prepping you for a PhD if that is something that is in your long-term goals or in your trajectory. And so the difference is also a year in length. And so the MEng takes one program to, or I'm sorry, one academic year to complete, and it is capstone focused, whereas the Master of Science is a two-year program that's more academic based, research based. And so, as opposed to doing the capstone project in the Master of Science program, you would be doing a thesis. And so, again, the long term with a Master of Science leads to essentially a PhD if that's something that you are interested in. Manage really is focused on all of the leadership components. So again, taking the skill sets that you've learned throughout your time here, throughout your time in your undergrad, and actually learning how to apply those skill sets. And so the experiential capstone project will actually allow you to collaborate with multiple students across departments. And so it's not necessarily that you're going to be only in a capstone project with only mechanical engineers. You'll actually have an opportunity to be in a team that may be comprised of an electrical engineer, a nuclear engineer, and a mechanical engineer, as well as your lead. So that's the great thing, cross collaboration, cross training, and ultimately we want to prep you for being able to be ready to go in the field, coming out as a leader, and being able to be ready to handle those managerial roles right out the gate. And so I hope that helps you understand the difference between the Master of Engineering and the Master of Science. And again, if you have any questions or if you need any clarification, you're welcome to either put them in the chat now, or we can also circle back at the end, and I can try to clarify some of those things for you. All right. And so this is our mission here is to create inclusive leaders who solve the world's problems through innovation, technology, and collaboration across boundaries. And so again, that's one of the things that we talk about when we talk about a collaboration across boundaries. We mean that in every sense, right? So collaboration with your peers, collaboration with your instructors, and really leaning into the skill sets that maybe you may not bring, but your strengths that you're bringing to the table, but also you're learning from your peers who maybe their strengths are something different than yours. And so we want to be able to allow you to solve those real life world problems in the day to day that you're going to be working on. And so the capstone is sort of one example of the ways in which you would be cross collaborating and working together to essentially solve a common goal or a common problem. And so let's see, let's jump into the next one. All right. And so leadership basically at the end of the day is going to be the key driver of your success. Study after study has basically shown us that in all of the engineering expertise that they have a faster career trajectory if they have leadership in the background. And so this particular slide is actually going to show you the percentage of recruiters and what particular skill sets that they're seeking from their applicant pool. And so as you can see, the first one, the largest one, and probably tied for second, is going to be not only leadership, but your ability to work in a team. And so we're seeing those two things be the forefront of what folks are looking for when they're, doing their job searches and their recruitment efforts. And so without these particular competencies, it seems like what we're seeing is that the technical experts tend to top out because they get sidelined by the colleagues who possess those soft skills. And so while you may have everything in the hard skill in the background, it really does matter how you are able to communicate, how you're able to convey the information to team members. You may have all of that information in your head, but how can you convey that clearly so that somebody understands where you're taking that? And so I think that's one of the things that the MEng program does really well is it essentially builds those soft skills so that whenever you're coming into the real world, you know exactly how to communicate with all types of folks in all types of settings. And so I think that's one of the reasons that folks can kind of they may dive into the technical skill sets, but really ultimately at the end of the day, the soft skills are the ones that are going to prep you for those leadership roles. And so, as you can see, communication skills are what comes in second or third based off of the tie, and then the problem solving skills. So, again, that's why we're putting you in those cross collaborating capstone projects is so that you have an opportunity to be able to put those skills to use. Let's see. Perfect. So with your engineering leadership journey, basically how it starts off is you're going to have, it's a one-year program. So you're going to have 12 units in the first term and 12 units in the second term, as well as your capstone project that's included in that. And so your first 8 units of curriculum leadership basically include strategy management, the innovation portion, as well as business concepts that are specific to engineers. And so I think the great part about that is that I'm sure y'all have heard a lot of folks talk about startups or these components of building their business, but it doesn't necessarily mean that you need an MBA. Sometimes that can be as simple as maybe adding an elective into your curriculum so that we can make sure that you have the appropriate skills that you need to advance. Your technical specializations, that consists of 12 units. And so this is really just the opportunity to strengthen and develop the technical skills that you already have. And so this is going to be more advanced leadership, or I'm sorry, advanced engineering courses. We also have overlap. So depending on which technical courses that you are deciding on, there may be the potential to overlap with some undergrad courses, but also the technical stuff depends on what is available. So you're not limited to, let's say that you were admitted into the mechanical engineering program. You're not limited to only taking mechanical engineering courses. So let's say that there was maybe like a technical course in electrical engineering that you were interested in, or maybe industrial engineering that you were interested in, that can actually be a technical elective that you opt for so that you can have a chance to develop that particular skill set. And so you can expect 12 units throughout the duration of your program. So that would be about 6 units in the first semester, which is the fall, and then approximately 6 units in the second semester, which is the spring and your final term. And then the last component is the integrative capstone project. So this particular project consists of 5 units. And so this is the team-driven experience that we talked about. So this is where you have the ability to cross collaborate with other engineers who are based in different departments. And this will, your capstone project goes on throughout the duration of your time here. So it doesn't just start in the second term. You actually are working on your capstone project from semester 1 all the way through semester 2. And now I'm going to pass you back over to Maritzi so she can kind of outline the program schedule.
Hi guys. So if you were to join our program, August 11th will be our new student orientation, and our boot camp courses would start the day right after. So August 12th through 15th. Next slide. Thanks. So, what does a typical year look like in the MEng program? Well, fall semester, um, you would be taking your boot camp classes, and this happens before the regular semester starts. You will also be taking two technical electives, your capstone project course, and as well as your communications for engineering leaders course and your project management and teaming course. Next slide. All right, so spring, you will also have to complete a boot camp, which will begin January 5th through the 8th. So in the spring semester, you would have a choice of two engineering business electives, and there's a menu students can choose from. You will also have two technical electives, your capstone course, and of course, you would continue working on the capstone project you started in the fall semester. You will also enroll in Communications for Engineering Leaders course, which you would enroll with your capstone team. And there is also a coaching for there's also coaching for high performing teams course, which is the course you will enroll as a team. So you will have a dedicated leadership coach who will support you and just coach you throughout your time with your capstone project.
Perfect. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to jump into the capstone portion of the presentation. I'm going to pass this particular piece over to Maritzi because she is the capstone advisor. So I'll let her kind of speak on those things, and then we will go from there. And so just so you know, the capstone experience session, that's actually going to be held on Wednesday, April 2nd, and the session is starting at 8:30 a.m., and that's Pacific Standard Time. And so again, we'll have the links and all those things posted and available for you so that you can get to the sessions that you need to get to for your particular experience and for your particular department. Maritzi, go ahead.
All right, next slide, please. Thanks, Morris. Yeah. So in our capstone overview, Dr. Jennifer Mangold, who is our Chief Innovation and Learning Officer, will be giving a presentation. She will go over what is capstone, how the selection process works, and she'll also provide a lot more information about that. You will also hear from current student teams about their student experience, and you'll have an opportunity to ask questions. Next slide, please. All right, so here's a snapshot of just some of the previous capstone projects. So some of the previous capstone projects focused on solving real world issues in the above areas. For example, improving finding ways to fight cybercrime or improving traffic in Berkeley. Capstones are designed to be interdisciplinary in terms of what research and technology they use. Capstone is an academic degree requirement, so everyone will be on a capstone project. It is aimed to provide students with hands-on experience working in interdisciplinary groups of 3 to 5 students, where students are the experts, and the project advisors are leaning on you to work together with your team to problem solve and take the lead on the project. So I hope you will be able to join us tomorrow, and we look forward to seeing you there. And I'm going to hand it over to Mars. Thanks, Mars.
Awesome. Thank you, Maritzi. Appreciate that. Perfect. And so now we'll kind of jump into the career development component and just sort of outline what you can expect and who you can expect to hear it from. So on April 3rd, that's going to be the career development session, and that particular session is going to start at 8 a.m. And so this will be also a virtual session. And so, yeah. I know that for some of you that came to the in-person visit day yesterday, we had a little bit of a chance to sort of touch on the career team and sort of what you can expect out of your resources as a Berkeley student. And so I think the great thing about this particular program is that we have something very specific to offer. So while UC Berkeley does have a general career center, we actually have a very specific career development team that's based here at FUNG. And so with our Director of Career Development and Alumni Relations, that's Julie McShane. And then we also have Dione Rivera, and she is our Assistant Director of Career Development. And then we also have Alicia Mendak, and she is our Career Service Specialist. And so these are three people that you'll actually be working with, like on, I would say, a fairly regular basis. And so this particular group actually like has career coaching services in their background. They have over 10 years of experience like between each individual. And so folks are very knowledgeable. They're very passionate about working with our upcoming engineers. And they really, really want to do what they can to make sure that our engineering leaders are out there and getting placed where they want to be, getting the jobs that they want to get. And so with this particular career development services, it's something that is specific to us. So while you do have, again, the general ones at UC Berkeley, this will be very specific to the MEng students. And so you can actually lean into all those resources. Um, and then let me go ahead and outline basically like with the career development, I would say three like primary functions or skills that they're looking for is to develop your professional skills and to ensure that you have support while you're exploring your career options. And then we also have a huge network of alumni and a huge Berkeley community. And so it's basically putting all those three things together and building off of that. We scaffold. And so essentially we want our students to be able to lean into all those things, to be able to find their mentors, to be able to find mentorship opportunities, and to be able to lean in. There are all kinds of resources that happen and that are available to you outside the classroom, and we just want to ensure that you're taking advantage of that as somebody who is spending their money here at Berkeley. And so these are some of the examples of the things that our career services do provide. And so essentially you can customize your program to outline the things that you want. I would say that with Fung, we really develop from the very beginning. So from the time that you come in as an MN student, all the way through the point of actually securing a job. So from beginning to end, we really support you throughout that process. And that can look like anything from reviewing your resumes all the way down to salary negotiation. And so for some of us, we're looking at that for the first time. Like maybe we've gone straight from undergrad into, the Master's of Engineering program, and we don't really have a lot of maybe resume writing experience. Maybe we haven't really had time to develop our cover letters. Great. That's a service that can totally be provided to you through the career development team. And so it's not just about that. They can help you build your brand. They can help you develop your online presence. So a lot of great things to lean into, especially as folks who are learning and are growing and are just getting started. I think the other great thing is that between all of their experience, they also understand the job market really well. They understand what recruitment cycles look like. They're also a part of helping us gather a lot of that research that allows us to see what employers are even looking for to begin with. And so I think that our career development team is just really, really well versed. They're really well rounded, and they're going to make sure that you're set up for success all throughout your time here at Fung, as well as after. We actually had a really cool alumni event not too long ago. And it was really, really great to see a lot of our staff members not only interacting with the alumni, but actually being able to like name them, to see them in passing and be like, hey, I remember you from last time. That is not something that I feel like I have seen in other institutions that I've been a part of, especially when student bodies are extremely large. I feel like it is easy for folks to kind of get lost in numbers. And I don't feel like that has been the case here at UC Berkeley. It's really, really great to see how personalized each experience is. And so I hope that y'all will also get an opportunity to take advantage of that. Our team hosts things like one-on-one coaching sessions. They host workshops. We also have like in-class simulations, as well as mock interviews. So really, again, prepping you from beginning to end, all the way down to the salary negotiation steps. So just one of the many perks of being here at Berkeley. Awesome. And so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to sort of switch into introducing y'all to our current student ambassadors. And so we have five of our current student ambassadors on site today. And so I'm going to go ahead and allow them to introduce themselves. So if you'll just do me a favor, feel free to unmute your camera. I'm sorry, unmute your speaker and turn on your camera and then go ahead and introduce yourself. And then let the group know what your department is. And then what I'll do is open the floor for questions. And it's actually just going to be an informal Q&A. So if there's something that we didn't get a chance to answer for you along the way, or if it's more directed, maybe it's more of a student-facing question, we're just going to incorporate the Q&A like that. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and pull the student ambassadors up and feel free to introduce yourself and popcorn it. I'm going to start with Alyssa.
Okay. Hi, everyone. My name's Alyssa. I am a current bioengineering student at Berkeley. And Mars, was there anything else I had to touch on, or is that good?
No, that's good for now. Thank you for
Okay.
joining
I'll popcorn to I'll
us.
popcorn to Juliet.
Okay, cool.
Hi, I'm Juliet. I am a current Master of Engineering student at Berkeley, and my department is Civil Engineering. Nice to meet you all. I'll move it to Kavi.
Hey everyone, I'm Kavi. I'm currently studying mechanical engineering. I will popcorn it to Wally.
Hi everyone, I'm Belly, and yeah, I'm currently studying EECS at UC Berkeley, and yeah, prior to this, I did my undergrad at UC San Diego. So yeah, and then I'll popcorn it to Smriti.
Hi guys, good morning. I'm Smriti. I am currently doing bioengineering with a major in bioinformatics and computational biology. Yeah, I grew up in the Bay Area and then I did my undergrad in SoCal in UC Riverside.
Awesome. Thank you so much. So these are some of our rock star students. And so you actually have access to be able to schedule one-on-one appointments with our student ambassadors. We have a couple of other student ambassadors that weren't able to be here today. But if anything comes up, or if you feel like you have questions that are specific to maybe those particular concentrations or those particular departments, you're always welcome to schedule one-on-one with our students. And they're very, very great, and they're very informed. And so, yeah, we're going to be available right here, right now to answer questions. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and open up the floor. And then feel free to go ahead and put your questions in the chat, and then we're going to try to filter them in the order that they came in. So it looks like I'm going to try to give us potentially about 10 minutes. That may run us a little bit over. And so I know that we're cutting it close on time. So feel free to ask away, and then I'll also leave myself on for a few extra minutes. Thank you all so much for joining us again today. Awesome. I'm gonna actually let one of the student ambassadors take this. So let me go ahead and go Juliet, because I know that you spoke about the international housing and sort of what that experience was like for you. So it looks like one of the questions I have in the chat is how competitive is on-campus housing, and does that typically fill up quickly?
Yeah, sure. So I can talk about International House. So International House is one of the major housing campus options at UC Berkeley. There are about 600 students that live in this resident with more than 86 nationalities. And you don't have to be an international student to be able to live at iHouse. You can be American as well. It's very nice and very fun. We take all our meals together. There's a huge dining hall where we will all eat together. So it's a great place to make friends and meet people from all around the world. There are many events that are scheduled throughout the week. So I take salsa classes for free. There are running people that go on hikes together, people that run together, music rooms, a ping pong table. I mean, we have a lot of things that are fun to do at International House. So I would highly recommend it for you guys if you're coming for a year at Berkeley. It's a great experience. But there are many other options in terms of housing. I think you touched that in the presentation, Mars. But housing can get like fill up quite quickly. So if you're kind of sure to come to Berkeley, I would start applying now. But there's always room for everybody. Like nobody had major issues in terms of housing. I don't know if you other girls want to talk about like where you live. Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. That would be helpful. Because I know that some of y'all are staying in different spaces, and also some of y'all, the experience is different. Like some of you may be in dorms, and some of y'all may be in like an individual apartment. So maybe kind of talk about some of that.
I guess I can share. So I'm staying in an apartment off campus, in Northside, which is like North Berkeley. And this is like the area in Berkeley where a lot of grad students stay because it's typically more residential. It's a little bit quieter than South Side. I chose to stay off campus just because I felt like that was the most economical option for me personally. And my apartment is within walking distance of campus, which is really convenient. And the way I kind of went about finding housing was I would just go onto Facebook, on Craigslist, on Zillow, and try to find apartments that were within my budget or try to find other students who were looking to fill their existing apartments.
Awesome. Thank you. Perfect. Let's see. I did have a question in the chat that was about funding. It looks like somebody wanted to know when we would be getting that distributed. We are actually in process of working all of that out, and we anticipate that we should have all funding letters out either by the end of this week or very beginning of next week. But we're all in process of that. So you should be hearing from us very, very shortly. Um, let's see. One more question. Opportunity grants. Let's see. Let me pull Vali. Could I bother you to talk about maybe what your experience was at boot camp?
Yeah, for sure. So, I think for fall boot camp, I did choose in-person classes. Each boot camp's about 2 weeks long. There's a fall one and a spring one right before the semester starts. And I chose in-person classes for fall because I think I wanted to just see like the campus, kind of get familiar with it a little bit before like classes and everything started. So I think I really enjoyed that. So if you have a chance to be able to come in person, I would definitely recommend. But we also have, I think, like online sessions and in-person sessions. So if you're only able to join through Zoom or you can't travel or something like that, you can still just do like fully online bootcamp coursework. And yeah, with regards to the actual coursework, I think for fall you get like a set of courses. One's like entrepreneurship for engineers, and I believe the other one's like project management or something like that. And yeah, those are pretty interesting because I think they're a little bit different than technical coursework, and you get to like read case studies and really interactive sessions. Like you have to really talk amongst your peers, and they're much smaller classes, so it feels a little bit less intimidating and easier to talk and really learn from them. And with Spring Boot Camp, you have a little bit more flexibility. There's a lot of different kind of courses you can choose from. Like for myself, I chose like a marketing and product management course because that was really interesting for me. And I also chose like an industry analysis course. There's also some other financial courses, more entrepreneurship courses or startup related courses if that's of your interest. So yeah, I think they offer a lot of flexibility to choose something that really interests you in those 2 weeks.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing. Perfect. It looks like I also got a question in the chat about the ability to defer. To my understanding, every department, from what I know, does allow for deferrals, but you do have to communicate with the department. So if that's something that you're interested in, please go ahead and send the email or the request to, I'm going to back this slide up real quick, to Fung Institute at berkeley.edu. And then what I can do is make sure that the request gets passed on to the appropriate department, and then that will be up to their discretion to decide if they have the room or if they allow for deferral. One thing that I do want to note is that if you received like a Fung Institute award, if you received an opportunity grant, and then you decided to defer, I want to be clear that that is not guaranteed to be offered for the following term. If in the event that you decide to defer, just know that you would basically have to be reconsidered for those things. It wouldn't be automatically applied to your to the following year. Um, yeah, let's see. Any advice on which things to focus on in the early period of the semester when everyone is getting settled in? Smriti, can I bother you to answer that question? I don't think I incorporated you earlier.
Yeah, so in general, the program goes by really fast. So it's like while they're like your settling in period is really like within the first month, because after that, um, you're like in deep in classes, and then the second semester rolls around and you're looking for other things to do. So I think generally just try to attend as many events as you can when you do have the time before you get super busy. And these are really good networking opportunities and just like learning and forming like a community, which is super helpful. A lot of the ambassadors yesterday and were like mentioning during our panel that it's like having people you're doing classes together with is super nice, and there's like a support system there. Um, Other than that, I think like definitely in terms of like jobs, like make sure you start looking at which types of companies or roles you want to apply to and how like the resources at Fung can help you best tailor yourself as an applicant for that.
Perfect. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. That was a really great answer. All right, let's see. I have a question in the chat that says, does MEng allow transfer of credits for technical courses if I have taken fall or if I've taken graduate courses at another institution? So unfortunately, our graduate program does not allow for transfer credits because there's a minimum requirement, because it has to go through a very particular, like these are the requirements in order to fulfill the degree. We don't allow for transfer at that point. However, I think that's one of those things where, like, depending on what technical courses, you did take, they may be helpful for some of the courses that you end up signing up for. So I don't know that it would necessarily be considered like a waste, but I don't know, but it wouldn't be accepted in terms of like a transfer course. So just to make that clear, let's see. Is it possible to take classes from other departments beyond the curriculum? Yes. And so because you're going to be allowed to select electives, there's room for that. So depending on how your workload is, depending on whether you feel like you're going to be able to handle those components, while you're pursuing your degree, you do absolutely have the ability to take electives that are outside of your particular curriculum requirement, depending on the availability. So that is possible. And I think there were a couple of you that spoke to that yesterday at the student panel in person. Could I have maybe one of the ambassadors follow up on sort of like what that looked like for you in terms of registering for maybe a course that wasn't specific to your curriculum?
Yeah, I can talk about that. I think that I was the one that mentioned it yesterday. But for me, so I'm a bioengineering student, but I have some interest in the mechanical engineering field. So I took, or I am taking, some courses that are offered by the mechanical engineering department. But for one of the courses that I'm taking, I was able to just like register for it like right away, and there was no need to get approval from anyone because it was already like closely aligned to a bioengineering course that was being offered. But for another course that I wanted to take in the mechanical engineering department, I had to get approval from the uh, the department head for the bioengineering department. And that was a really straightforward process. All you need to do is just like email them, or you can go to their like office hours or schedule an appointment with them. And then they'll be able to basically just give you written approval, and usually in the form of an email saying that you can take this class. You have to fill out like a Google form, just like kind of for record purposes, and then you can just register for it. So I'd recommend, if you do want to take a course outside of your department, that maybe just have those courses in mind like a couple of weeks before you have to register for courses, just in case you do need to get approval. But yeah, there shouldn't be any problems with getting that.
Perfect. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Awesome. So it looks like we've gone a little over time, so I'm going to have to cut the question short, but I just wanted to say thank you so much for being here today. I am going to leave up these next steps in terms of what you can do, what you have access to. And so with the new Admit website, This is going to have pretty much all the information that you need in terms of accessing what your next steps are. And so if you have decided that UC Berkeley is the place for you, we are so excited to have you. And so just make sure that you submit your SIR by April 15th. And so that's the deadline to go ahead and officially accept your offer of admission. So we want to make sure we get those in by April 15th. The remainder of this week is all going to be virtual visit weeks. So everything is broken down by like particular program. So if you've been admitted into BioE, that session is also today. So that one is going to be on after IEOR. And then we have multiple sessions throughout the week. So depending on which program you were admitted to, this will actually allow you to learn more specifics about your department. And then you'll be able to navigate and go from there. We also have our current student ambassadors that will be available and attending some of those sessions. And don't forget that you have access to them as well. So even if you can't attend those sessions, feel free to schedule an appointment with our ambassadors or myself. My Calendly appointments are available as well. And so I'll make myself available to answer questions via email because I know that we're going to close out in terms of this particular session. But if you have anything that I did not get a chance to answer today, feel free to send it here at funginstitute@berkeley.edu. And then we'll go ahead and follow up and get your questions answered from there. And so, yeah, you're welcome to go ahead and connect with your ambassadors either through LinkedIn or through the Calendly session. And I can actually drop that into the chat as well. I've got the student leaders link here. And so you'll actually be able to click on the individual's picture and it will actually take you to their bio so that you can see which department that they're a part of and which person may be the better fit to ask those questions to. So let me go ahead and stop sharing this. And so I just wanted to say thank you again. I want to say thank you to our ambassadors for taking time to help us and to help answer questions. So I appreciate y'all so much. I want to thank Maritzi as well. Maritzi is like our newest staff member. And so she's been on here just like rocking all of this stuff. And so thank you again for all your help with this. Congratulations to everybody again on your acceptance to UC Berkeley. We hope we get a chance to see you here soon. And again, I'll make myself available. I'm also going to put my direct email in the chat just in case there's anything that's maybe more admissions related. You're welcome to go ahead and email me here. And that's marsrebus@berkeley.edu. And then the regular Fung Institute is also available to you for questions. Perfect. And then, as I said, if there's something that I didn't get a chance to get to today, if we ran out of time, feel free to shoot those emails over. And then we're so excited to have you here. So again, congratulations. And we hope you enjoy the rest of your week. And we will talk to you soon. Thank you again. And I hope everybody has a great day. Go Bears. Congratulations again.
Thank you. Go Bears.